morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident tinkerer and Medarot, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, it looks like the celebration to honor the anniversary for Medarot 4 is most certainly going to be picking up a lot of steam as we continue on through this next week. Last week we had a relatively quiet event in regards to Medarot 4 as a whole, but a lot of us kind of suspected that there was going to be more to it, especially with the timeline and the date and the number of days that are left on the current banners highlighting thereof. But today was most certainly no exception and absolutely confirmation that it is still going on, with the introduction of a brand new successor model to Particle, the ultimate Archangel type that currently rocks PvP meta when it comes to extended survivability. So the armies of heaven will be descending once more as we go into this next week, and very likely the week after we'll be highlighting a lot of the devil and archdevil types with another successor that was teased this week as well. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced this week, of course, starting the lineup with the brand new model that is going to be starting up with a completely brand new kit as well to the table, and that is AAG-01 Fermion, with a kit of full repair, drain shot, sanctuary, float legs, and the leg ability of breakneck. Now, as you see here, Fermion is bringing not one, not two, but three brand new skills in just one mode alone, and in her alternative mode, as you see here, as a biblically accurate angel, you can call it, is also introducing a kit of max shot, needle guard, max Vulcan, but maintains float legs and a brand new leg ability of reversal. So lots of brand new skills that Fermion is bringing to the table with her grand official debut into the game. Just to explain the skills ever so briefly and not take too much time, full repair is one single use, all parts 100% HP as long as they're not broken, but you only get one use. Drain shot, basically the shooting version of armor drain. Sanctuary applies a hyper repair status and a mobile boost effect to self. For her meta change form, Max Vulcan is basically a Gatling version of Max Shot, double damage and pierce if the HP is full, and Reversal bumps the success and power of all equipped parts or skills every time the user receives a healing effect to self. So restore, repair, or anything like that. As long as she's changed and she receives HP, she is going to be absolutely cooking. In addition to Fermion, we also have the rerun of the popular and well-known original Archangel type from Medarot 4, set 20 years or so prior when she first made her grand debut, AAG-0 Particle, with Mirror Guard, Stat Cleanse, Revive, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Auto Repair. Now, much like Fermion, the original model was also capable of meta-changing into a vehicle-like mode. In this mode, she trades her kit out entirely for Counter Guard, Super Repair, Time Attack, Tank Legs, and the leg ability of Holy Grace. So if you want extended survivability, you really don't have to look any farther than Particle, because she will guarantee if she's on the field, no one is going down on her watch. In addition, we also have reruns of some of the other well-known Archangel types through the series that were introduced, starting, of course, with GBL-0 Gavriven, with Rebirth, Long Shot, Wide Break, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Rising. So in contradiction to the previously established Archangel stereotype of being primarily healers and supporters, Gavriven was the first in a set that actually had more of a combative capability to bring to the field while still honoring the original motive and prompt. Now, with the introduction of Gavriven as well, we also have reruns of the other three Archangel types as well. Starting that lineup, we also have MCL-0 Milgnus with Flame, Sujigiri, Blow Away, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Trap Buster. Behind him, we have RPL-0 Rafalt with Wide Repair, Anti-Air, Hyper Tornado, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Abson. And then, last but not least, URL-0 Urield with All Restore, Panic, Punishment, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of All-Rounder. So as you see, we have a very, very good week for very solid types all across the board, and very, very powerful skills to be had. So being completely honest, you could pick any one of these 6 models and you really can't ever go wrong with which one you want to go for, because they're just all so good or so useful in one way or another. In particular, if you want my personal opinion on which models you should prioritize the most, just for sake of utility reasons and just how often that you do see them in competitive, I would have to give Particle as the big must-have an MVP if you are going to prioritize anyone with the banners. Behind her is Fermion, if you want more of a selfish, long-range combative type with aggression. Behind Fermion, I'd have to give Rafalt and then Milgnus in that order, primarily because Rafalt having Tornado and Anti-Air alone makes him an absolute terror on the field. Milgnus with Sujigiri and solid float legs, that also is something very solid you can't go wrong with. Uriel behind him before very solid all-rounder kind of stats and a very well-rounded interruption-based kit, with a lot of ailments that Uriel brings to the table, and then last but not least Gabriven to kind of bring up the rear. Now that's not saying that the closer you are in the back, the less important they are, but there are a lot of these skills that you do see in competitive meta, and if you want to make sure that you stay up, stay the top dog and keep that competitive edge, a lot of these parts are going to have higher priority than others. Now, at the Fierce Battles we have this week, it is going to be another diverse kit, but focusing primarily on a lot of interruption-based skills as well. Starting that lineup on this top row is GBG-01 Fretbeat, with Fight Boost, Beam Sword, Fire, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Generator. Next to her, we have KIN-0 Kintaro with Press, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and leg ability of Endurance. And then also finishing out this top row is RAY-04 Aragostar with Triple Beam, Wheeled Legs, and the leg ability of Excel. So lots of very solid skills just between those 3 alone, and a very iconic face from the anime that everyone will know and love. On this bottom row, we are starting off with SGT-0 Sagittarius from Medarot Navi, with Defense Seal, Evade Seal, Suction, Defense Seal, and Evade Seal. I had that order slightly reversed. Flight Legs and the leg ability of Hidden for an extra head use. We have next to him, we have FSK-0 Jinban Fairy with CG Plant, Double Claw, Flight Legs, and the leg ability of Snow type. And then last but not least, the Fighting Benefish type BTA-0 Mekong Narob with Guard Boost, Double Provoke, Sea Legs, and the leg ability of Blowbee. So honestly, there's a lot of really good parts here to be found all the same as well across the board. Ultimately, I gave MVP of the week to Jinban Fairy primarily for the fact of Flight Legs with Snow type. And since Snow terrain is a very difficult terrain to get matches on, that alone will put her a step above the rest. But in terms of everyone else that is brought to the table as well, Kintaro, Fretbeat, Aragostar, Sagittarius, and Mekong Narob, they're all very solid bots that you can make use of. Sagittarius, if you want to add Defense and Evade Seal, which are arms by the way, like I said, I did mistype here, they are very solid for making sure that all hits land or all hits crit. Kintaro for having your AoE attacks if you want collateral damage. Mekong Narob for Provoke can be very strategically useful if you build it right, since Provoke draws all the attention to self once the taunt status is inflicted on the enemies. So do keep that in mind if you are planning to farm for any of these bots to add to your libraries. Now, in terms of event stuff across the board, we will be seeing a Wave 2 of the Medarot 4 celebrations that will be going live as well this week. This time around, highlighting another wave of rerun rewards that veterans of the game may or may not already have parts or elements to, with the exception of Medarot Ryuko, who is a brand new addition to be added and collected. Now, with the inclusion of Ryoko and Mizuchi, which are both N and R rank respectively as rewards, you also have the opportunity to earn the Devil Medal with a mastery in melee, setup, and floating with multi, float, and flight leg masteries. And you can also earn LWT-0 Me Leviathan with hold, double static, sea legs, and the leg ability of rumbling. Now, compared to most other event rewards, which are usually kind of 50-50 depending on if they're good or not, Me Leviathan is going to be very useful for the stack of static alone, because working as basically Super Fang-like Pokemon, it allows you to really cut down on a lot of really bulky parts, or even meta-chain shielders in particular, to make it a lot easier for someone to come behind Me Leviathan and finish the job with a very powerful nuking skill. And it does not require you to have the part fully capped either. No matter what rank it is going to be 50% of that part's total remaining HP, no matter how many times you fire it. So it's going to half of a half of a half of a half, as many times as it takes until it drops it down to 1 HP. Now, it's not capable of breaking anything, but it makes it a whole lot easier for someone to come behind the Sea Serpent type and finish the job for him. Now, for the event itself, it will be milestone-based, much like the previous event was as well. So pure sets will be encouraged across the board as you are planning to farm and collect your rewards for that. In particular, for the bonuses, as you see here, for the primaries, all 4 of the Archangels, Gabrivan, Milkness, Rafault, and Uriel will give you a 10% bonus per part. The Fierce Battles will give you a 6% bonus per part each. For Medarotters, the SR versions of Kokuen, Hakuma, and Shuri will give you a 15% bonus each. The R rank will give you a 10%, and the N rank a 5% respectively. Extra bonuses as well, Fermion and Particle will give you a 6% bonus per part, and Me Leviathan a 5% bonus per part equipped as well. So, it's going to be a relatively heavy week on gacha-based models, so your Ruby resources are probably going to be hurting by the end of it, especially given that Particle and Fermion are both meta-change capable models, and therefore their banners are going to be a whole lot more unforgiving than the standard banners. Now, the other thing that was listed with this event is that it will also feature boss fight, which means every so often you will contribute to a timer upon completing a dungeon round, and every once in a while will trigger a boss fight at random. These encounters can also be stacked, so you can kind of save them up to 10 or so, and then just do a whole bunch of them at once. Now, for the boss fight bonuses, of course, Fermion will give you that 15% bonus per part, Particle at a 12% bonus per part as well, and then Me Leviathan at a 10% per part respectively. So it is going to be really important that you capitalize on at least Me Leviathan in particular to your teams, so that you can capitalize on that bonus as well. Whereas Particle and Fermion will definitely be prioritized for that as well, but maybe not as heavy of a push. For the Medarotter bonuses in particular, a 10% bonus towards Mizuchi or Ikki Tenryo as the SR rank versions of those Medarotters respectively, a 5% bonus for either 2 or Ryuko for the R rank, and at N rank it'll be 3% bonus per Medarotter equipped. So usually for events like this, you are probably going to want to end up making 2 teams. One is your primary team for your main dungeons. Your second will be for your boss runs when you are trying to farm parts for that or points for that, because there will be 2 separate ways to earn those rewards. Other things to mention with the event as well, we are also getting a super invasion featuring Fermion herself as well, and we are also getting event missions for a limited time to contribute towards the second wave of the Medarot 4 anniversary as well. So do make sure that you double check on that and make sure that you complete them, but honestly, those event missions are really, really easy. Just participate in the event a certain number of times, participate in the super invasion a certain number of times, you're in and out in probably about a day at best if you know what you're doing. One other thing to mention they highlighted with the event that will be going this week in particular is an Angel versus Devil team build contest. So there are specific hashtags, as you see here, that you'll be using. In that same post, you'll also be listing the parts and part names, as well as your profile card that you use, along with the respective hashtag of what team you're going to be joining, whether that is Team Angel or Team Devil. So there is no real reward for this one. It's not an official contest, but there are ruby prizes on the line for those that are involved, range between 5 or 10 or even more rubies for those that are interested. This contest will be going on for 1 week though, so do bear in mind if you do plan to participate, make sure you snag that and snapshot it and tag with the respective tags sooner than later. In addition, for the to segue officially into community stuff, the Discord will also be participating in this contest. We have a paint shop channel that we use where people like to showcase a lot of their builds. I'm not 100% sure what the prize might end up being. It'll probably just be some vanity role that I'll probably throw in together as like for bragging rights kind of thing. But if you would like to participate in that event, definitely follow the same rules as well. Follow the prompt as listed with part names and your profile banner, and just stick it in our paint shop channel from there. And then once the week does end, I'll probably collect all those and see, just based on our official participation as well, who would be the winners of that contest. Now, with community stuff moving forward, we are always looking for translators to assist us with any projects or endeavors. Right now, the current endeavor is finishing off Medarot 3 in its tentative completion stage. Mostly, we just need bug testers to kind of just play through it, look for grammar checks or spelling mistakes, and just make sure everything's behaving as it should. then we can also start working on projects such as Medarot 4 and 5 and Navi, or even other titles that have been brought to our attention as what people really want to see. We want to do them, but we do need manpower to be able to do so. So if you are interested in that, or if you know somebody that might be interested, definitely have them reach out to us on Discord in the link provided below, and we can and have them ask around yourself, and we can definitely get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. Now, at the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, I found this piece, of course, highlighting everyone's favorite nightly stag beetle type Dorcas, highlighted by the artist SoaZ2, as you see here. Another very well-known and fantastic artist in the Medarot community, with a lot of very wonderful art renditions that they put together while on their channel, both on their Pixiv and on their Twitter. So, of course, with Dorcas and Saikachi's both getting tune-ups last week, it only made sense I had to highlight at least one of those two models this week with the art of the week. And this one here by Blue Miso 99, I've highlighted their art in the past as well, but honestly, I just live for the casual Medarotter and Medarot handler dynamic that we have for the daily life kind of thing. And this one here, highlighting their character, showcasing the leg warmers, much like kind of showing a comparison to Black Stag of the Now We Match kind of thing. I honestly live for that kind of thing, and I find it wholly adorable in a lot of different ways. So definitely give both of these artists a follow if you'd like to see more of their wonderful art in your feeds. Lastly, one final note, as always, I am always open for commission for 3D models or 2D art. I can do live 2D models, as you see here. I can do standard 2D art of varying degrees of detail. I can do 3D models, fully rigged, props for them, fully rigged, articulated, textured, ready to go, so you can drop them in any program that you want to use, and they're basically all set drag and drop, with some minor configuration needed as well. I do keep the prices particularly low as well, just so that a lot of people that are wanting to start out and maybe perhaps find me may also see this and may possibly make something happen without having to break the bank doing it. So if you are interested in commissioning me for art, either 2D or 3D, definitely feel free to reach out to me on Discord or on Twitter, and we can try to make something happen. With all that being said, though, I do believe that covers everything for this week's episode, so as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping by, just as you always do. If you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there as well, which is still skyrocketing well past 12,500 members and still going. I'm honestly still shocked and proud of how far that community has come in almost 8 years. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below if you want to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. The Discord server is going to be the first place you hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at IsaGamiKura if you have any questions or feedback or comments, or would love to stop in and say hello. I leave my DMs open for that very reason. And if you are looking for a commission, or if you are a streamer, VTuber, content creator, or whatever you might be, and want to possibly collaborate with me, I would absolutely love to make that happen as well. Feel free to reach out to me on those Twitter as well, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. On the topic of collaborations as well, I am also going to note, I did say it on my Sunday stream as well, for those that wanted to tune in or did stay tuned in, I will be hosting a collaboration stream on my channel with some very dear friends of mine, Ryoko Mizuno, Vector Spaceman, and Sane Cisco, for a friendly little game of Uno and just some friendly chatting on the channel. So if you are looking forward to that, definitely tune in on my channel or any of their channels as well at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time this coming Sunday, so you can join in on the fun and hang out with us all. Lastly, do give these wonderful friends a follow in the Medarot community as well. TAGRO Chang and Tayo1, wonderful artists and wonderful content creators that contribute a lot to the Medarot community. TAGRO Chang in particular is a wonderful artist, one of the big three in particular, that has been working with Medarot for close to 20 years now, if not just a little over. So their designs are tenured, they stick, and they are all fantastic no matter which design or prompt he comes out with. And Tayo, also well known for their contribution to the Medarot community with a watch-controlled, remote-controlled Beastmaster in the robotics field that they've been tinkering with as well. So if you want to see more updates to that, definitely give Tayo a follow as well. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping by, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.